Hello and happy day. Have you reminded yourself to slow down today, to reduce the noise, to listen? My name is Igor SF Walker, and I'm here to remind people to slow down, to reduce the noise, to walk their lives into a natural flow. Welcome back to the Book of the Week series. Every week, as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. Today, we look at Mindset, the New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck, PhD. What are the consequences of thinking that your intelligence or personality is something you can develop as opposed to something that is fixed, deep-seated trait? The view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. It can determine whether you become the person you want to be and whether you accomplish the things you value. How does this happen? How can a simple belief have the power to transform your psychology and, as a result, your life? Growth mindset is based on the belief that your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts, through your strategies, and from help from others. Although people may differ in every which way in their initial talents and aptitudes, interests, or temperaments, everyone can change and grow through application and experience. Why waste time proving over and over how great you are when you can be getting better? Why hide differences instead of overcoming them? Why look for friends or partners who will just shore up your self-esteem instead of ones who will also challenge you to grow? And why seek out the tried and true instead of experiences that will stretch you? The passion for stretching yourself and sticking to it, even or especially when it's not going well, is the hallmark of the growth mindset. This is the mindset that allows people to thrive during some of the most challenging times in their lives. What is truly amazing is that people with the fixed mindset would not agree with that statement. For them, it is nothing ventured, nothing lost. If at first you don't succeed, you probably don't have the ability. If Rome wasn't built in a day, well, then maybe it wasn't meant to be. In other words, risk and effort are two things that might reveal your inadequacies and show that you're not apt to the task. In fact, it's startling to see that the degree to which people with the fixed mindset do not believe in putting in effort or getting help. People are terrible at estimating their performances and their abilities, and those with the fixed mindset account for almost all of the inaccuracies. The ones with the growth mindset, they're actually amazingly accurate when estimating their performance and their abilities. Listen to these statements. Number one, your intelligence is something very basic about you that you cannot change very much. Number two, you can learn new things, but you can't really change how intelligent you are. Number three, no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it quite a bit. And number four, you can always substantially change how intelligent you are. Statements 1 and 2 are the fixed mindset statements. 3 and 4 are actually the ones of the growth mindset. Which mindset did you agree more? You could be a mixture, but most people lean towards one or the other. Benjamin Barber, an eminent political theorist, said, "I don't divide the world into the weak and the strong, or the successes and failures. I divide the world into the learners and non-learners." And a 7th grader summed it up pretty well. This is what she said: "I think intelligence is something you have to work for. It isn't just given to you. Most kids, if they're not sure of an answer, they will not raise their hand to answer the question. But what I usually do, I raise my hand because if I'm wrong, then my mistake will be corrected. Or I will raise my hand and say, how can this be solved? Or I don't get this. Can you help me?" And just by doing that, I'm increasing my intelligence. Very intelligent girl. John Wooden, the legendary basketball coach, said, "You are not a failure until you start to blame." And what he means is that you can still be in the process of learning from your mistakes until you start denying them. With all of my belief and effort, I'm not saying that when people fail, it is always their fault and they didn't try hard enough. No, it is true that effort is crucial and no one can succeed for too long without it, but it's certainly not the only thing. People have different resources and different opportunities. Remember, test scores and measures of achievement tell you where you are, but they never tell you where you could end up. Think of times other people outdid you and you just assumed they were smarter or more talented. Now consider the idea that they just used better strategies, they thought themselves more, they practiced harder, and they worked their way through obstacles. Now you can do that too, if you want to. In the fixed mindset, you do not take control of your abilities and your motivations. You look for your talent to carry you through, and when it doesn't, well, what else could you have done? You're not a work in progress, you're a finished product. And finished products, they have to protect themselves. They have to stay lament and they have to blame everything but take charge. If parents want to give their children a gift, the best thing they can do is to teach their children to love challenges, to be intrigued by mistakes and enjoy efforts, seek new strategies, and keep on learning. That way, those children don't have to be slaves of praise. They will have a lifelong way to build and repair their own confidence. Step number 1, embrace your fixed mindset. Let's face it, we all have some of it. We are all a mixture of growth and fixed mindsets, and we have to acknowledge that. Step 2, become aware of your fixed mindset triggers. When does your fixed mindset persona come home to roost? Step number 3, now give your fixed mindset persona a name. You heard me correctly, give it a name. Step number 4, you are now in touch with your triggers and you're excruciatingly aware of your fixed mindset persona and what it does to you. It now has a name. What happens next? Educate it. If you have enjoyed this video, please do like it, share it with the world, subscribe to my channel, and you can find a direct link to this book in the description below. Get it and read. Thank you. Love and respect.